All right, so Potty Math teacher, awesome. Learning target, this is for I can represent proportional relationships in ratio tables. Let's have some proper grammar. As a reminder, you've seen this before. Remember, I'm going to talk fast, so my goal is that you are using this to pause and make your own wait time. So it should take about twice as long as my video. Hopefully, we'll make it fast. I'll try to make it less than 10 minutes. That's my goal. Remember, they're notes to your future self. So when you're watching these, we're going to have a table of contents first, where we have a list of every single thing that we're working on, and then we'll flip behind it to our next blank page and we'll start writing on that. So you're having two pieces of paper being written on to keep us organized. You can go back later and find everything. Okay, so there's my video, and I'll make this bigger. There we go. So right now we're on ratio tables. This should be your fourth thing in there. So even if you're using more than one page per, it's totally fine. Just label that first page of all your notes as page 1 for ratio representations, page 2 for unit rates, 3 for better by, and now today we're on ratio tables. So pause the video now so you can write out our learning target and label your papers. All right, so now that we are all labeled, we're going to define things. So we're first going to define what is a ratio table. We've probably already used these in class, but we'll define them now for sure. So it's a table of equivalent, this is a Q, ratios. And we find this, so found, by multiplying. And this star means something important, like this whole next phrase will be something important. So it's found by multiplying and dividing. This is an and sign. Each number in the ratio by the same number. So to help save some writing, I'm using that number symbol, the hashtag or the pound sign, to represent the word number, so I don't actually have to write it out loud. So this is our definition. Make sure you've paused. Example is red paint versus blue paint. So we're going to make this a table. We'll go 5 lines down. 5 lines down. So this table has 5 lines in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put 1 and 3 to start it off. So 1 to 3. I have 1 cup of red paint to 3 cups of blue paint, and that's going to give me the color purple that I want because red and blue make purple. But what if I need to make more of this ratio because I have a larger wall that I need to paint? So I want to make sure I have enough paint for that wall. So if I multiply by 2, 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6. So I'm making the ratio table by multiplying by the same number. So I'm going to change color here for a sec. So what if I multiply by 3? So 3 times 3 is 9. So if I want to make 12 cups of paint to go on my wall, I'm going to need 3 cups of red paint and 9 cups of blue paint, and that'll keep the same ratio. And so all of these will be the same color. They just will be 4 cups worth of paint, 8 cups worth of paint, 12 cups worth of paint, and so on and so forth. I want you to figure out what would go in the blanks if I have 4. And what if I have 5 cups of paint? What would go over here in these 2 blanks? Pause the video. You should have gotten 3 times 4, which would be 12, and 3 times 5, which would be 15. So notice how that fills out the ratio table, and find as many patterns as possible because there are a bunch of patterns in this. Okay, I'm going to wrap that, and maybe we can get that to work. Okay, next example. And notice that these are all equivalent ratios. So 1/3, 1 to 3, is the same as 2 to 6. which is the same as 3 to 9, which is the same as 4 to 12, which is the same as 5 to 15. So if I turned this table and we made them fractions as ratios, then you'd see they're all equivalent. They all simplify to the same fraction. All right, so we're going to do 3 more examples. No, 5 more examples. Okay, so next example. So I'm going to write out the problem. If you want to just write out the table, you can totally do that. Okay, so you bike at, that's the symbol for at, a rate of 9 miles per hour. Notice that mph means miles per hour. Oh, per 2 hours. Sorry. Miles per 2 hours. Okay. So then how many miles have you biked in 8 hours? Granted, this is not proper grammar. I'm shrinking it so we can write just enough that makes sense later, but not specifically a huge paragraph, okay? So we're going to make a table. Our 2 units that we have are miles and hours. And yes, we already did this in our notes for something else, okay? And I'm given, let me change color. I'm given 9 miles in 2 hours. So I know my ratio is 9 to 2. And now I somehow need to get to 8 hours. And fill in this blank up here. So think about, how am I going from 2 to 8? What am I multiplying by? I'm going to multiply by 4. So 9 times 4 is 36. So your answer should be 36 miles. And then box your answer. So whenever you're doing work on paper, make sure you're boxing your answer so it's really clear of like, this is my final answer. All right, moving up. I'm going to make 2 tables. We're going to have 4 examples left. So if you want to make a grid of 4 in the bottom, okay? So these top 2, I want you to fill in the missing values. So I have cars versus trucks, okay? I have 3 cars to 5 trucks. So 6 cars goes to how many trucks? Pause the video. Try to figure it out. Next one is pens versus pencils. I have 1 pen to 3 pencils, 2 pens to how many pencils, and then 9 pencils to how many pens. All right, pause the video, try to fill in both of those. And I'll use the green marker again. Okay, so going from 3 to 6, I multiply by 2. So to fill this in, I need 5 times 2, which is 10. So you should have 10 trucks when you have 6 cars to keep that ratio. 1 to 3 pens to pencils. So 1 times 2 gets me 2. So 3 times 2 gets you 6. So that should be 6 pencils to 2 pens. Or 2 pens to 6 pencils. And then when I go this direction, it's times 3 to get to the 9. So 1 times 3 will be 3. So I should have 3 pens to 9 pencils. All right. There went that highlighter. Okay. 2 last examples. Okay. So if I'm going to do horizontal this time. So I'm going to have cats, and I'm going to have dogs. So if I have 3 cats, then I have 4 dogs. That's the ratio that we are given. I want you to fill it in when there are 16 dogs. What would go in this top box? Pause the video, try to figure it out. All right, this last one. So you are paid at your job $11 per hour. So money and hours, those are our 2 variables. And I want you to make the table describing the rate that was given. And then I want you to find 2 things. So find how much money do you make in 9 hours, and what's the number of hours that you need to earn $132? So I want you to make the table and then answer those two questions. So pause the video, try it on your own. Okay, coming back to check this. So dogs times 4 gets you 16. So 3 times 4 will be 12. The more you write these steps, the more your brain is physically seeing it. Your eyes are actually locking in on those numbers and helping you understand and make sense of the problem. So the more you write, the less it has to get stuck in your brain and has to process. So put it on paper. Okay, for this one, I have money and I have hours. I know they said that I get $11 for every 1 hour. So that's a unit rate, with hour being my unit. Okay, so then how much money do I make in 9 hours? So I'm going to change color here. So if I have 9 hours, 1 times 9, so 11 times 9 would get me 99. So this will be $99. All right, and then I'll do another green. Number of hours to earn $132. So I need 132 in my top. Wow, that is really faint. 132 in the top. I need to figure out what goes in the bottom part. So with some guess and check, I know 11 times 10. I know 11 times 10 is going to be just 110. So I know it's more than 10. If I do 11 times 11, that's 121. 11 times 12, 121 plus 11 should get me 132. So this is multiplied by 12. So what's 1 times 12? 12. So it should take me 12 hours. Okay, so that's a 12 hours. And that green is not worth it probably. All right, we are good to go. So then I can minimize this. And after the video, here's some clarifying questions. Were you on task? Were you productive? What helped you? What didn't help you? And I'm pausing it now or stopping it now. Bye.